check if this is going to work, but we should be live. Dovremmo
Oh,
essere live. We should be there.
we should
Let
be
me
there.
check. Let me check. So
Tripods.
this is, let me see. Okay, I see us.
Oh,
Okay, so we just have to wait until people just spot us. I warned them with a lot of newsletters, so they're going to be fed up of me reminding them of these appointments. So, eccoci. So there you go.
ciao, ciao bello.
Siamo
Everyone.
qui con Abs, ce l'abbiamo fatta. Hello, Abs, welcome. Thank you for being with us. So people are coming in.
Ciao everyone. Ciao.
So, oh, benvenute, buon pomeriggio. Hello. So my
Buona-
reminders seem to have worked, and I still have customers coming, so they have not been, annoyed with me reminding them all the time. Buongiorno, benvenuti.
So which one is correct? Buongiorno or buonasera?
You can still say buongiorno because it's daylight. To be correct, to be fair, we should say buon pomeriggio, good afternoon.
Buon pomeriggio.
Yes, correct. Buongiorno, ben arrivate. I always say buongiorno anyways. No matter what the time is, my mind is scheduled on buongiorno, so. Buongiorno, benvenuti. Eccoci qua, ce l'abbiamo fatta. La diretta sta funzionando. Okay, the live streaming is going well, so it's okay. Welcome. So
Question.
welcome.
You should. I have a technical question. How to flip the camera? I cannot find the option.
You can once you're in the studio, you have to tap on the screen, and the little icon of the reversing of the screen will appear. Let me show you.
I don't have it. I'm tapping everywhere.
You don't have it probably because you have already entered the live stream and you cannot change it anymore. I should probably let you out and you should come back in. Let me show you how it goes. Let me show you. So I suppose you probably have to exit and re-enter because, let me show you. Ok. Stiamo risolvendo una questioncina tecnica. Let me, oh my God, this is so annoying. Okay. Okay. So, I probably activated the emergency on my iPhone. Okay, no worries. It's okay. So once you're in, this is the icons. No, you can no longer change it once you're in. You have to get out. Sposto un secondo apps, ma lo rimetto subito. Let me take you out. Just try and tap it and see if it works. Otherwise, you're going to have to exit the app, exit the browser, and re-enter using the same link. And then once you're in, you're going to have to tap the screen and the little icon will appear and you will have the chance to reverse your screen.
Okay.
Did it work?
No, it doesn't give me the option. I leave and the enter.
Ok. Lo lasciamo uscire un secondo. E adesso che rientra, scusate questo eco fastidiosissimo. Adesso che rientra girerà la fotocamera. Perché continua a esserci l'eco quando io ti ho tolto? Eccoci. Che è proprio carino. Adesso poi quando ritorna glielo spiego. Appena rientra. Una volta che si entra in StreamYard non si riesce più a rigirare lo schermo, quindi lui non riusciva a girare la fotocamera e quindi adesso aspettiamo che ritorni un secondo. Dunque, remove, mute. Waiting for apps. Ce l'abbiamo fatta. Oggi sono un po' sconvolta, portate pazienza, ci sono ancora delle mail a cui non ho risposto, comunicazione tecnica, ma domani andrà meglio. Non vi preoccupate. So, abbiamo già anche tutto uno, eccolo. So, there you go.
There you go, I managed.
Okay, good. I see a lot of beautiful things out there.
A mess, you mean?
Okay, good. No. Let me find a way so that you are bigger than me. Because it makes no sense. I will just take myself out.
I want to hear you. Translate it for me.
No, this gives us the chance to. Oh, let me see if I can find a way so that you are larger than me. Okay. Now they should see you better than me, and I am
And I can
confined in a
do
corner.
that. I don't know if it's easier, or do you want me to keep the...
Just the way it makes you more comfortable.
I'm happy with either, so you just tell me what's
Okay,
better.
it's all good. It's all good. Eccoci.
Okay.
Okay, what's that beautiful thing over there? Oh, adesso inizia a farci vedere un po' di cose.
So I was about to read the comment section, but it's everything is in Italian. I don't understand.
I know. So
I'm just
just
gonna
so you
I'm just
know,
gonna
they're
keep
all
my
saying,
iPad aside. I'm just gonna focus
okay,
on
they're all
demoing.
saying welcome. They are very thrilled to be here with you. Somebody says there have been a few comments saying that I need to tell you that you look very cute. I'm just reporting that, you know.
Grazie, grazie mille.
Gliel'ho detto, che carino. Okay. So I will keep an eye on the comments and translate any questions or anything, and then translate what you are saying.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so should we start?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for everyone for joining us today for this live. Thanks to Clelia for the invitation and for having me today. I hope you're not a bit disappointed, and I hope I will manage.
We're definitely going to manage somehow, and nobody's ever going to be disappointed. Don't worry. Dice, speriamo che nessuno sia deluso, ma fanciullino.
Okay. So today we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to play with so many yummy textures and colors and elements. This is the word of Holland creates, the word of colors, the word of magic, and the word of fun mainly.
Okay, let me translate this because this is just so precious. Dice che ci divertiremo un sacco, che si tratta di parole di colore, di divertimento, che è la cosa più importante. Lui è un altro di quelli che dice che la cosa più importante è divertirsi, quindi mi faceva piacere risottolinearlo. Ok.
Okay, so what I have here in front of me, I want to start with the ribbons because this is the brand new product. This is so me. This is my texture. This is my colors. This is my mess, as I call it.
So you designed all of the ribbons, right?
Yes, all of them. Yeah, all of them.
Okay, sono tutti fatti da lui i ribbons, and we love them.
Thank you. So we have I don't know if you need to translate, but I'm going to just show them all the different ones we have. So we have 10 different in total. So I'm just going to quickly go through the different ones we have so they can see the I'm going to actually put them in category. It would be probably easier. So let me see if I have all of them here.
Li mette in ordine.
3 and 2. Okay, I should have all of them here in front of me. If you look closer, so we have all the hashtags here from 1 to 10. So number 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the first category, the first 4. I'm just going to pick number 1, for instance. What do you have here? You have in each package, you have 2 sheets.
2 sheets, yes, I've already tried them.
Yeah, 2 different sheets, A5 size. So the first group is the same patterns but different colors. So it depends. We put them in a warm colors and the cold colors. So you have both. You can mix them or you can use them separately.
Okay.
So this is the 4.
I will translate this one. Lui ce li ha divisi in 4 categorie, mi fa molto bottalico questa cosa, mi fa anche un po' paura. I primi 4 sono lo stesso disegno, 2 varianti più calde e 2 varianti più fredde, quindi si possono usare in contaminazione l'uno con l'altro, mescolandoli, oppure usandoli a seconda di quello che si coordina a quello che stiamo facendo. Ok, I got it.
Good. And then we have the second category. Quickly gonna go through the second category, which is from number 5. It's a category of 3, which is number 5, 6, 7. Let me just find my 5.
5, 6 e 7 sono l'altra categoria.
There it is. So we have number 5, 6, 7. Let me just put them in that order. The same thing. It's completely different texture, different patterns, but we have the cold and the warm colors.
Okay.
And then the last thing is same thing for 8, 9, 10, where you have 2 sheets, 2 different sheets, warm colors and light colors, different patterns, another different patterns.
Ok, queste altre due serie sono invece diversi colori, colori caldi e colori freddi, stesso pattern, diversi colori caldi e freddi.
Yeah,
Ok,
and then you can see here on the back what's in each sheet. Both sheets here,
yes.
you have some QR code for inspiration for our fanatics and the instructions how to use them. And you have also the lollipop stick here.
Yes. Do we find any tutorials or just a tutorial on how to use the
The,
ribbons?
the we don't have the tutorial for the ribbons yet, and I'm saying
Okay.
yes, but the design team is on it, and they will be a load of inspiration. Like it's still
Inspiration.
new. Yeah, we just use them on some TV shows because they were busy with some samples for this TV shows, but you will
Okay.
have plenty.
Ok, I will just tell them. Qui c'è il reverse di destra a sinistra che mi farà veramente andare fuori di testa in questo live, ma nei Rabon c'è un QR code che vi riporta tutta una serie di ispirazioni. Non ci sono ancora dei tutorial, ma ci stanno lavorando e che al momento sono piuttosto presi con la preparazione dei campioni per i programmi televisivi, però presto ci saranno, quindi non buttatela la confezione. Okay, I told them not to throw away the package because the QR code will be very important.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, absolutely. But they can scan it, join the group, and then that's it. Once they're in, and
Oh,
then they
so
can come
that
back
reach you in the
anytime.
group. Okay, let me tell them.
Yeah,
Il
it's
QR
a group,
code,
special group. Yeah.
a special group. Okay, I didn't get it. Il QR code vi porta in un gruppo, quindi vi potete iscrivere nel gruppo e poi di lì avrete tutte le ispirazioni che sono dedicate a questo gruppo speciale che è dedicato proprio a questo. Okay, that's
Okay,
good to know.
brilliant.
I'll join them
So
too.
I opened here two packs that I'm gonna play with. So I picked just
Yes.
randomly 5 and 10, and I picked some warm colors here.
Ok, 5 e 7, colori caldi, adesso ci fa vedere qualcosa.
So also the idea with these ribbons is we all know the ribbons, they usually have focal points, imagery and sentiment, but this time the reason like each time I'm teaching or each time I'm demoing or doing lives, a lot of people says, oh, they love my messy background, they love the textures, but they never have enough courage and confidence to create the same thing, or they never like manage to do exactly like my background, or sometimes they don't have time, they want something quick and easy. Sometimes also some crafters are more clean and neat, they don't like anything inky and messy. So that's the idea of these background ribbons come from. So anyone who want to achieve something like this, now it's so easy to do, it's so doable, and that's the idea of the ribbons.
Ok, I will translate this one in the meantime. Lui dice che tutte le volte che fa delle demo, fa dei corsi usando questi rabon, gli dicono che gli piacciono tantissimo i suoi sfondi, e anche quando fa dei corsi e crea questi sfondi di punto in bianco, gli dicono che gli piacciono tantissimo, che alla gente piace tantissimo il modo in cui lui struttura i vari strati. Quindi all'interno di questi rabon lui ha messo il sentiment, le texture, i colori, tutto quello che si può fare anche in realtà a mano, ma che così è già ready made, anche per chi magari è un pochino più clean and simple. Ok? I got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna, while you're translating, I did cut just a small piece here of the section that I want to work on. So I'm gonna show you two ways of using it. You can either cut the section that you want to use on, just you want to use it, which is just, for example, here, or you can use it straight away without cutting. It's just rub the section you want. So I'm gonna do both, show you both ways. For example, I have here some ribbons from the past where I did, and I had all this cut, but I keep them, and then you can use later any section you want. So nothing wasted. So the first bit is the bit that I did cut here. So I'm just gonna turn my piece of paper, and then all I have to do is place the ribbons on the sections where you want your transfer to be, to transfer that image. And even when I place it, it's not transferred yet, so you can still remove it and move it around. So it took us more than 9 months to release the ribbons because we are really looking for the right the right manufacturer for the quality one, but also we did not want to be too sticky to glue because some of them are too sticky, and once you put it, that's it. Sometimes
That's it, yes.
sometimes even before you use them in your fingers,
Even
you
in
already
your
have them.
hands sometimes.
But look here, look, I'm touching them, it's fine. You still have like that flexibility, so you can still move them around till you're happy. For example, I'm happy here, I'm gonna just keep it here, and then the magic will happen like this. It's so easy. All you have to do, grab your lollipop stick, and then just, you don't even have to press that hard. It's just apply a certain pressure where you want the image to be transferred, and then always grab your corner and check if it's transferred, job done. If it doesn't transfer, just come back and do it again.
Ok, I'll translate this little part. Lui dice che possiamo usare i rabon in due modi diversi. Possiamo tagliare il pezzo che ci serve e non ho mai pensato in realtà di prendere il foglio intero, visto che non si trasferiscono esattamente col pensiero, e di trasferire solo la parte che ci serve, ma ovviamente io queste intuizioni geniali non potrei averle. Adesso me l'appunto. E in realtà loro dice che ci hanno messo 9 mesi per cercare un fornitore per i rabon, perché volevano qualcosa che non fosse troppo appiccicoso e che non si trasferisse appunto solo col pensiero, che non rimanesse attaccato appena l'ho poggiato sulla carta. Fatto. There you go.
There you go. Easy peasy. So quick. No effort, no magic. You don't have to have all that waiting time for drying of the layers of ink or paint. You don't have to have the right balance. You don't have to have 3,000 stamp set to do all the tags. You don't have to do stenciling. In 1 second, you have your prints done.
Good. Dice, non abbiamo bisogno di nient'altro, non abbiamo bisogno di 3000 timbri, era per quello che ridevo, di stencil o di paste tridimensionali, perché c'è tutto lì. And that looks much more clean and simple, so people might be clean and simple makers are probably going to be very attracted to this.
Absolutely, yeah. And then the choice is completely yours how you want to take it. You want to adjust your focal point, your sentiments, you add more elements. The choice is completely yours. So that's my first background here. On this section here, usually I work always in a large piece of paper and then trim it down. So don't worry if I'm using the same piece of paper. It's 2 different projects later.
Ok. Usa un altro pezzo di foglio e poi lo taglia, quindi sono 2 progetti diversi che ci sta facendo vedere.
Yeah, and this is the second example. I'm not cutting with a scissor. I'm just showing you that you can also use it straight away and transfer just the bit you want and then put it back on your piece of paper. And this one, by the way, here, this waxy paper, we ask for this paper, which is slightly thicker than what you find on the market, the average. And the reason why we did slightly thicker and more waxy is so you can recycle it, so you can use it with your alcohol ink if you like. Because this is like Yupo paper for alcohol ink.
Genius. This just probably a little bit thinner than Yupo paper. Oh, that's
yeah,
genius.
It's a little bit thinner, but it's enough. It's a little bit thinner indeed, but it's enough to take those alcohol ink. I played with them, and there is also some posts I've seen in Holland Create Fanatic in our group where you just put your alcohol ink, play with them, let it dry, and the job is done. So even this, it's gonna be useful.
It's genius, let me tell them. Non ci avevo mai pensato. Amiche del non si butta via niente. Quel foglietto di waxy paper che è l'altra parte dei rabon è praticamente Yupo paper più sottile, quindi ci potete giocare con gli alcol ink. Cioè, un po' mai più finita. I suppose they're going to be very happy about this.
Yeah, you know, it's like we try to make sure, like, not only we like when we design and when you have a new manufacturer, obviously the quality for us, it's a must. Like, we don't even discuss that. The quality is a must. And then we try to see how can we make it, how can we take it to the next level, how can we make the most use of everything. So yeah, and that I was, because when they gave me the first one, it was not that waxy, but it was a little bit thinner, and I was thinking like, oh my god, I can use this one. So I recycle everything. I'm a crafter. I don't bin anything, you know. We crafters.
So you're part of the club that doesn't throw away anything.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Nothing.
Even in a therapy section, I throw away a lot of stuff, but my customers do not. So they're gonna love this thing that will not have to throw away this one.
Yeah. So you see, I transferred just this section here, and the good thing about the ribbons is you can also layer. You can also do a ribbon on the top of ribbon. For example, I don't know if you see, there's just that little bit left here. I don't know if you can see this section. Yeah, not that I missed it. I did not transfer it. I can come back, add it on the top if I want.
And add it on the top.
Add it on the top of this platter here.
Okay.
That's that. But also, I can layer another color. I want a little bit of contrast. Can you see that little bit like turquoise, teal blue with some little bit of magenta and purple? I'm going to add it here on the top of this section here. It's kind of continued to those platters. So you can see that you can layer them easily.
And that's the magic.
And then just add, you see, it goes on the top. Add maybe a little bit here, just so we don't have that hash line. I love when everything looks more organic and more perfect. You see, it's all done. Maybe just a bit here. Why not? Why not? So that's that. Okay. We have that continuity. Let me just transfer this section. A little bit more here. And then all those little dots that sometimes we keep left and right, I just go and then put them all around to make it look more natural, more organic, like you did it with your proper ink and stamps or washi, whatever you used.
Okay, I'll tell them.
And that's it.
Alcuni pezzetti che non aveva trasferito li sta trasferendo in un secondo momento, rendendo il disegno rendendo il progetto più organico. Non si butta via niente, un po' è questo. Sulla cover del cellulare. Credo proprio di sì. I have a question for you, but I suppose the answer is yes. Somebody's asking me, can we use the rub-ons on the cover of our phones? That's a weird
A
question.
cover of what? Sorry.
On the cover of our phones?
Oh yeah, I did it.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I did it on the phone. And there's Patricia,
did it.
our design
Oh,
team from
this is
Italy.
opening a new world to me.
Yeah, we have Patricia from our design team member. She did it, and then she posted a picture also on our Facebook group. But let me just show you on other material, or other surface you can create. It's not just the ribbons, but I don't know where to put it.
Ok, è andato a prendere
Now,
qualcosa.
because I'm looking for it, I can't find it, but I will find it in a minute. Where you can. Oh, there it is.
I am
found
very
it.
familiar with this.
Yeah. So I have a tray here at home, like where I put all my keys and I put like some change when I come back from work, like when I have some coins change. So I did some ribbons on it, decorate it, and this is just to use for my trays. So this is on glass, and this is on hand. This is handmade porcelain. Can you see?
Oh, questa è porcellana.
Decorated.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, you see, you can use it on. So you can use it on wood. You can use it on glass. You can use it on leather. You can use it on plastic, on paper, and on porcelain. Yeah.
And porcelain. Sulla porcellana. That opens a brand new world for us.
So you can use it anywhere. And I just did some tests on a canvas. This is an album that I have that I want to play with soon. And I start just doing it on a canvas, and it works really well. This is this is work in progress.
Fabric? Is that fabric?
It's
that's
calico.
fabric.
Sorry, not a canvas. It's fabric, calico.
Fabric sulla stoffa. Volevo dirvi. This is so amazing. Did you have it? Because I know the question is coming. How about the chalks that you made from porcelain dust? I don't know if I translated that correctly, but you can mix porcelain powder with water and then pour it into molds. We use
I see. I haven't tried, but I don't see why it doesn't work on, because ribbons basically they work on any surface. I mentioned 6 or 7, but there are more surfaces you can use it on. The only thing is what you want to do after with that surface.
Yes.
For example, my plate here where I put my coins and change, I keep it as it is. It's not something that I'm going to put in dishwasher or wash all the time. Maybe just to remove a bit of dust. But if you want to use it on your glasses, like because you want to wash the glasses later, just use glass sealer, which is like kind of a gel medium for glass.
Okay, I'll tell
If you
them.
do it on fabric, my design team member, she creates some cushions and pillows with ribbons, and then she used fabric sealer kind of to seal that layer. It's up to you what you want to do with it later, and then it stays forever.
Ok, oh my God. Let me tell them. Ok, va praticamente su tutto il Rabon. Lui dice bisogna solo considerare che cosa ci si vuole fare dopo, nel senso che se è un qualcosa che non lavate mai, che non ha bisogno di essere lavato come il suo vassoietto per le chiavi e le monete, va benissimo così com'è. Diversamente esistono dei sigillanti per il vetro, che quindi vanno nella lavastoviglie, oppure dei sigillanti per la stoffa, se li volete lavare. Quindi in realtà abbiamo un mondo aperto. Ok, I told them and they're probably going to finish the rub-ons that I have on my website, which is good.
Luckily, we just got a restock, so you can get a restock
That's
too.
so good. That's so good to know.
Okay, another trick that I do all the time, because I have, as I told you, plenty that I keep like this. If you have 1 or 2 cut, it's easy to store. But if you start like me, because it's so addictive, I'm telling you, if you start having plenty like this, just use any masking tape you have, or washi tape, or low tack tape, and then just put them together. Can you see? I just put a little bit of tape here on the side. It's just to grab them together so you don't lose them, because this is a little bit you need to make sure you put it on the top of this waxy sheet of paper to stay together. And this is how you store them, so they're ready to use.
I'll tell them right now. Lui li conserva legati con un pezzettino di washi tra il rabon e il foglietto protettivo, così in realtà non si rovina e li potete conservare quanto tempo volete. Dice che è addictive, da dipendenza, ma non l'avevamo capito già da un po'. Ok, we're ready for this new addiction.
It is really addictive. You will see.
I
know.
Like, it's
do you know that I
so
was
beautiful.
Before I introduced this, when we had the TV shows here in the UK, the day before I created my project, I prepared my demo, and then I was walking around my flat and looking at everything. What can I recycle? What can I decorate? I had some pictures with frames photos, like frame photos. I did all the borders, all the frame with ribbons. I had some, well, shame my own TV. I don't have them here because we have still shows next week. I decorate some ornaments, a vase, like a vase for my flowers. I did all the vase because it's transparent and you have that beautiful, like, all patterns around it. You can do it on anything.
On anything. So we just need to walk around the house with the ribbons in our hands and try to look for some
Exactly.
spaces to
And
use
give
them on.
everything a new life. And give everything a new life.
Ok, I'll tell them. The next tip, il prossimo consiglio è andate in giro per casa con un foglietto di Rabon, lui ci ha rivestito vasi, cornici, decorazioni, gli ornaments sono le decorazioni, potrebbe essere per l'albero di Natale. Siamo finite. Ok, so I see the dice over there.
I see the dice. Yeah, you indeed.
They're coming in tomorrow. Arrivano domani.
Yeah, so this is just some of the background that we just created quickly, and now I want to continue playing with this background, but instead of doing how to say square, page, or rectangular, like we did those dice, sorry, that have kind of a little bit quirky edges, I call them, something different, something modern as well, because I've been crafting for 15 years, and after 15 years, I must admit, I had enough of squares and rectangles. That's the shape that every single time we use. So I thought, like, okay, let's keep it square rectangle, but give it a little bit of a different modern feel with those edges. So we have three how to say tags.
Yes.
3 dies that cut for your tags, and they all have a different how it's called, all the different edges and all different accessories to go with, but they all have the same concept, which is matte and layering. And what do I mean by matte and layering? Which is you have the outer frame and then the inner piece that sits on the top. You can do them the same colors or you can do them different colors.
Ok, I will translate this one. Lui dice che lui ormai nel mondo del craft crea da ormai 15 anni, aveva un numero inimmaginabile di that's so cute, di fustelle di rettangoli, cerchi e quadrati, e quindi volevano fare qualcosa di diverso. Ogni fustella, queste sono le 3 fustelle delle tag che arrivano domani, hanno la base e la mattatura. Potete usarle insieme con lo stesso colore oppure potete usarle diversamente. I really love those edges. They are very different. They bring a new touch on everything, and they are so
100%. And it's an amazing finished touch as well. It gives you that kind of dimension, texture, but also something different. That's the word, something different. So you take your crafting to the next level. So we have 3 tags, and then we do have 3 rectangles as well. So this is tag shape and this rectangle. We put them in the same categories. Let me put them in these categories. So this one go with this one. They don't have to go with, but they're kind of the same edges. So what we did here, they are rectangles, roughly the size of a postcard, which is the A6 European size, 15 by 10 roughly. You have all the sizing on the back here. Same concept. You have the matte and layering, the inner piece and the outer piece, different accessories, some of them numbers. And this font, it's an Holland Create font. We created this font. So it's not something that we buy online and anyone can have it. No one.
That's pretty exclusive. Yes.
Yeah, and this one some ink splatters and stains, and this one kind of a fake postage stamp. We have some fake stitches and labels and all of that. And if you look at those two, for example, it's kind of the same finish texture around the edges. So those two, this style, we have those two, the edge matching. And then the last one, which is this one, where the edges also are matching. So you have 3 tags and 3 rectangles. I just showed you this one with the tag, and I'm going to show you one with the let me show you. So you can use it also. You don't have to use both. You can just use this one straight away on the bigger tag.
That's beautiful. They're going to ask, are you going to maybe make any squares from this series?
Well, I usually don't say anything what's coming soon, but because it's you, yes, we have in. I can split it like tell you what it is coming, but just keep it for yourself, guys, okay?
We're not going to tell anyone.
We have square coming, we have circle coming, and we have a bunting, shape of bunting.
Bunting, oh my God. Okay, me being me and me aging gratefully, I will forget about this, I know. But my customers will want. Ok, arriveranno cerchi, quadrati e anche un banner. Siamo finiti, dobbiamo tenerci il segreto. Okay, so we're going to start saving the money for this.
Yeah, the squares and all of that, they will not come before May, June, but those are already available.
Okay, yes, I ordered them. They are on the way. Arrivano tutte domani queste.
Yeah. You have this one also, different edges, different feel, so you can see, you get them all that kind of nice feel. But also the good thing about it is, look at this one, because I told you the dies are only this size, but you can
Yeah.
extend them. So what you do is you put your die. Let me show you how you do that. So you can
Okay.
have even a large rectangle. You can have your
That's
own.
very
You can have
interesting.
own square. You can do whatever you want. So on your plate,
Okay.
this is your like Big Shot or whatever
Yes.
die cutting machine you have. You grab your die. So I have, like, I store all my dies here.
Yes.
Let's, for example, give me, where the largest one? Yeah, this one here.
Fa vedere come stendere le dimensioni
So
della
this is yours. Instead of cutting it in the middle and put your piece of paper, you do it
Uh-huh.
on the edge. So you do this one on the edge. So you don't cut this bit here.
You
So
don't
you
cut
only,
the border.
you
Okay.
cut the border. Let me bring a piece of paper. So
Yes.
this is, so this is your piece of paper. This is the edge
Okay.
of the plate. The paper needs to go outside the plate, obviously, but you're gonna cut just these three edges here. You're not gonna cut this one because they're outside the line. And then what you do when you cut this big, you turn your piece of paper and you do exactly the same thing the other side. So in this case, you have even a larger one. Look at the difference in size. Can you see? It's a double size.
Double size. I will translate this properly so that they know, so that they understand it properly, because it's a very, very interesting trick. Ci ha dato una perla quest'uomo. Possiamo estendere questi bordi. Nel momento in cui andiamo a fustellare, sarà necessario posizionare la fustella lungo il bordo del piatto, di modo da lasciare fuori il bordo esterno sulla sinistra. Anche la carta dovrà essere stesa sulla sinistra. Una volta fustellato avremo praticamente il fustellato sui tre lati che si è ancora attaccato alla carta, si gira e si riposiziona la fustella. Poi lo facciamo anche nel live. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you. I'm glad they're liking it. Okay, so let's do those backgrounds we created with the ribbons. Let me tidy a little bit because now the mess is everywhere. This is doesn't take me long
Happy
to
table.
create
That's a happy
mess.
table.
Okay, so these are our backgrounds. So I'm using I'm gonna pick two. I'm gonna pick one rectangle. I'm gonna pick one tag. Okay. So we
Okay.
do both shapes. So this one
Yes.
that I have here is the number 32 for the rectangle.
Fustella 32, rettangoli, rectangles, number 32, yes.
Yeah, and for the tags, probably I would take. Where are my tags? Packaging. I don't know where I put them. I already lost them.
Oh,
I'm taking the
me all the
29.
time. 29,
Okay.
29.
I'm taking the 29 to cut this other section here. So easy peasy. All I have to do is take your piece of paper. Sorry, let me just cut this one. Bring my machine.
Saranno la nostra rovina i Rabon, sì, sì. Ci porteranno tutto sotto il ponte, Patrizia, assolutamente. Oh,
So then
look
you
at
can.
the framed artwork. It's beautiful.
So and then you have that beautiful edges. You can move it. You can do like this if you want to add more ink, or you can this section. Or if you think this is small, you can use the other one, which is even larger. It fits everything. So the choice is yours again.
Okay.
So I'm just
Guardate
gonna
come
do this
cambia.
one. I'm happy with a small one. Put it here. I'm just gonna. The machine is behind you. I'm just gonna turn it quickly to. You can translate this one when I run it through the machine.
Okay. I will just ask a question once you're back.
Sorry.
I will, once you're back, I'm going to ask questions. They wrote in the comments. Fare il mix media è più facile. What kind of paper did you use for the rub-ons? Is it a really smooth one?
This one is a smooth paper. I'm using here I use the Clairefontaine
The
paint.
Clairefontaine. Okay, è una carta liscia. Any really smooth paper will work well anyways.
Any paper. I told you I use it on fabric. So if you can use on fabric, then any paper will do the job.
You're right. If you use it on woods, then you can use it anywhere. Giustamente mi dice funziona sulla stoffa, va bene su qualsiasi roba.
Okay, so we did that. So that is ready.
Okay.
So what I like about it is not only that it's cut for you the frame, but it embossed also. Can you see that millimeter around all the details?
Yes, the embossed inner border is beautiful.
The emboss, it gives you that texture that I really, really like. It gives you an extra texture that I really like.
It gives the work a lot more interest. It's really beautiful. Avete visto tutti i dettagli che si vedono?
And then what you do is you have the second piece of the same die, which is the outer bit, and then you cut the second bit. For example, here I did cut it on a black piece of paper, but you can cut it in any color you want.
Of
And then
course.
you bring that one, and then you put it on the top.
Guardate.
You already see a big difference. It's already coming on together beautifully.
Well, you know, the black background brings it out so much more, of course.
Definitely.
It's
So that
beautiful.
is that. So this is my background ready, and my frame is ready. All you have to do then, you can easily finish this piece by either stamping an image on a piece of paper and sticking it there, or you can use ephemera, or you can do anything. For example, I have here some stamps from the new the collection that we released.
Oh, that's
This
beautiful.
this is last month. Sorry, this is February one. So we have the February here, and then all I have to do, look, you just put it here, and then add your sentiment, and the job is done. Or you can add a butterfly. We have this also butterfly also there, so you can use, if you don't want this one, you can use the butterfly. It can sit here on the edges, or on the middle, or on the other side, and then you just add your sentiment here. Let me see if I have my
Can you stamp on the ribbons?
ribbons. If you want to stamp on the ribbons, you have to make sure you use Stazen or something like that. But you have to make sure you dry it properly before you do anything, because it's super smooth. It's like, because the ribbon, once it's dry, is like that layer is, everything can smudge later and move, so you have to dry it properly.
Stazen probably is the only thing that would probably work properly.
I would say Stazen too. To be honest, I haven't tried yet, so don't take my word 100%. But you can see that. Look at that. You can put also those. Let me just make it closer to the camera so you can see all the details. So the ribbons, that background, really do all the job for you. All we have to do is just add your focal point and then add sentiment, and your job is done. So okay, it takes me a little bit longer because I'm explaining as I go, but you do the ribbon in 2 seconds, the die, and you have already 60% of the card finished.
Ok, I will translate this one because it's very relevant. Lui dice, adesso ci stiamo mettendo un po' perché vi sto spiegando tutto, però in realtà non gli dirò delle gambe dei cervi, però in realtà ci van 5 minuti, è un modo preta scrapè praticamente, veloce per fare delle belle cose in poco tempo, oppure per fare delle cose più strutturate con degli strumenti un po' diversi. Okay, I have a question. Can we hit emboss on the ribbon? That's a weird question, but if we were using a Versamark ink, do you think it would allow us to hit emboss the powder on that?
Okay, I haven't tried it. I have not tried it, but what I would say is a try, give it a go. But
I'll try that. Maybe, I'll just have my customers call in the fireman if it doesn't go well.
Try it, but also probably when you use your heat tool, instead of using it directly on the top use from the bottom.
From the bottom, yes. Lui dice provate, io ho detto provo, però poi magari mi chiamare i pompieri, vediamo, io sono un po' avvezza a queste cose un po' aggressive. Lui dice provate, magari non mettete l'embosser sul davanti, ma dalla parte dietro, dal basso. Okay.
Just make sure your phone is next to you to call the fireman straight away.
Okay, yes. You know, my customers are used to me almost setting fire on things.
Yeah, just make sure you have that ready.
Yes, they are ready to call, you know, any help that should be needed. So I will try that.
Okay, so this is my tag now cut here.
Oh, that's beautiful. Guardate la tag. Oh my God, that looks like a whole piece of art. It doesn't even look like a ribbon.
No, like you have already all the layers, all the colors, all the textures. So the job is done, and then you can just matte and layer it against either the same color or the like we did on a black cardstock here. I'm trying to see if I have one cut or if I should cut one quickly. I just had a pile here of some, but obviously the one I look for is always the one that you would never find. There it is. I found one actually. And then you just put that one. So this is how I started this one. Like you create the background and then you add your focal point. So we can add any focal points you have. For example, we have the new collection, the animals that I really love. So we have the dogs. This is the stamp sets.
The dogs and the cats are lovely. Did you color that with alcohol markers?
This is with ink tents. There's how it's called, Derwent's ink tents.
Derwents, i
So this is
pennarelli.
what I use. The watercolor
Oh,
pencils, Derwent.
oh, watercolor pencils. Oh my God, that's awesome. Le ha colorate
Yeah.
con le matite. Ah,
Or you have the giraffe as well, and then you just put your focal point to your card. Either you stick it straight away, or you do 3D foams that give it more
okay.
dimensions, make it even more 3D. I love when everything is raised up.
Me too. I really love giving dimensions and too much probably.
So you see, there's 2 cards, really easy, very quick, a
Very
tag
quick.
and a card.
Yes. That's a whole brand new way to bring into scrapbooking, you know. Not everything has to be difficult. So nice things can be
Absolutely.
simple. Le cose belle possono anche essere semplici.
Absolutely. As I said, not everything has to be like take you ages and hours to do, because sometimes we want to create just because we have small time, but we want to take our brain away so we don't have to think a
Yes.
lot. These albums are easy. You don't have to think a lot. You don't have to wait a lot. And
I
if you don't
know.
have time, you have no excuse. This is just to
You
have
have no
fun.
excuse. That's right. And you have a whole new way to distract yourself, to entertain yourself, and to get some me time, which is really important. Now
Yeah.
we'll just tell them. Lui dice: a volte non abbiamo tanto tempo, ma abbiamo bisogno di svagarci un attimo, di fare qualcosa di carino per noi, di tenerci impegnati. Questo è un modo molto, molto bello, anche per chi inizia in realtà. Non state parlando, non glielo dirò dei colibri.
Just in case, yeah. Just in case you were wondering what stamps I was using, they come from this collection. Like I just show you, so they have all the elements as well.
Those, I think I still have those in the store. Questo è il 1148 e il 1144. I will probably link them after the live stream so they can find them easily.
Yeah.
I sent a link to all of the news. Oh, this bird is with the cotton flowers is beautiful.
So yeah, these are the ones. Okay, so we showed you the ribbons and the dies. What I want to show you also is I want to show you these stamps. We have another collection of stamps, which is flamingos and 4 animals. We have flamingos, giraffe, dogs, and cats.
Yes.
So let me bring some of the card that I created here. For example, this is using the flamingo.
Yes, they're really cute.
So you have this one, and we're gonna do some compositions together and show you how easy they are. I'm just gonna go quickly through my cards here because they're all mixed up.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
So what I do with my stamps is, of course, they are perfectly standalone. You can use them on their own, but also I love creating scenes and I love mixing them with the previous collections. This way, like, we make sure that everything works beautifully together and we keep using what we have already and not just new products.
And this is the part where you're going to tell us that we don't really need that much masking, right? Because
no, not at all. I'm going to do them in front of you. We see that not much masking at all.
At all. I'm going to tell them.
So basically here, I just stamped and colored. That's all I did.
Which is so good because masking is not always that easy. Guardate queste composizioni che sono fatte con una serie di vecchi timbri, non c'è nessuna tecnica di mascheratura, ci sono semplicemente i timbri timbrati uno di fianco all'altro perché sono studiati affinché possano essere sovrapposti e ricomposti. Guardate che meraviglia! Oh my gosh, this look like illustrations from fairy tales books, you know. They're so beautiful. And your coloring is so good.
Thank you. So I'm trying to, I think I have a couple more that I want to show you. Yeah, this one, you've seen it already.
See, yes.
Yeah. And I did 2 more here that I cannot find. Oh yeah, I have this one with the books. I put some glossy accents. I don't know if you can see the shiny bit of the flowers. We love
glossy accents. We really do. We are on Team Glossy.
I'm Team Glossy too. Count me in then.
Totally. Oh, that's so beautiful.
So that's with the giraffe, and then the same concept, the flamingo.
Okay, many of my customers are saying that they're not really good at coloring. Me neither. Do you think these stamps might be achievable in terms of coloring by a beginner with a maybe easy medium?
Absolutely. So you can use the coloring here. If you look at it, like, it depends what you want to achieve for the colors. I hear this comment like all the time, not just from your customers, like coloring can be a little bit challenging for some people. But one of the first thing I always say, just to start without having a pressure on yourself. Oh, can I do it? Can I not do it? It's
Okay.
hard. The minute you don't think about it too much and you don't take it too seriously that it's a high level thing, you already halfway there. You already did half the job.
Okay,
Second tip. Okay, translate this one. I'm gonna, yeah.
I'll translate the first tip. Lui dice che una cosa che gli chiedono spesso, se a parte che ama i glossy e quindi lo amiamo sempre di più questo ragazzo, però dice che glielo dicono spesso che la difficoltà di colorare è piuttosto sfidante. Lui dice che una delle prime cose che da fare è non cercare di colorare con la pressione addosso, nel senso provate, cioè, se non vi viene bene non succede niente. Quindi una volta che superate la paura di non colorare bene avete fatto già mezzo del lavoro. Ok, we're ready for the second tip?
A second tip is it depends what medium you have. You don't think you need to have like very artist quality ones. Like it depends what budget you have. It can be markers, it can be pencils, it can be anything, and then you can still do the job with it. And the third thing is to have fun and enjoy it. And I'm going to show you how easy it is. The minute you remove the pressure, the minute you know that you're doing this to have fun, and then whatever you're going to do is, at the end of the day, is personal. Like you don't have to do it to please whatever other things. If you
If you're
enjoy it,
doing
if you
this
had
for
a good time,
yourself,
and yeah.
that's the main
For
trick.
example, this one here, can you see this one here? I was just trying to do it in one of the lives I was doing. This is halfway through of this one, and it's so easy what you do. So I took my pencils. I'm using watercolor pencils. For my case, I'm using Derwent, but you can use Faber-Castell, you can use Polychrome, you can use, maybe you have in Italy other brands that I don't know, any watercolor paper, because any color watercolor pencils, because I love watercolor. And then it's so easy what you do. For example, here I was just playing. I literally take a ruler. I didn't even use a ruler. I took the orange quid acrylic block, and then let me just move. And all I have to do is just draw a line. Ma
guardate come fa. Col piatto, quello lì è un blocco d'acrilico. Lui dice dovete divertirvi, usate un buon qualsiasi cosa voi abbiate, non è detto che debba essere per forza una cosa delle belle arti. Provate, divertitevi. Guardate. So that was
I'm just
lines that were rain, the colored oh my.
And then I did yellow. Now I'm moving to orange. It's like kind of rainbow colors, or you can do any colors you want. It doesn't have to be rainbow. So now I'm moving to the orange. So I'm just doing another line here, another line to it, and then I'm showing you that final watercolor effect, how easy it is. This is just because you asked me the questions out of the blue. I'm doing it, and to see that it's nothing like that takes me ages. It looks like when you look at some of my work or some of our stems, it looks like it's too complicated. There's so many layers and work. But if I break it down to you, it's really not complicated at all. It's so easy. It's just like it looks complicated, which is good because people think, oh my God, this is high level. But when we tell them how we did it, you see, and now I did red, and now I'm moving to magenta or dark pink. And then just add a couple of lines that missing here for my this. So this is, I draw all the lines, and then what you do, either you do any pencils you have and a bit of water, or you use water how it's called, the water oh, I forgot the name. The pencil.
The brush.
Water brush. The water brush, yeah. And then what you do here, so the lines, I'm going to keep them as they are, and the section here that is touching the clouds is, for example, the last color, which is the magenta here. I'm going to go, this is wet enough, and then just grab the color from here, from the tip, and just grab, and then you can see here on the tip the color.
Yes.
And then it's up to you. Do you want dark or do you want light? It's really personal what you want. And once you're happy with the quantity of colors you have here, you go and then grab it, put it inside the cloud and outside the cloud. Just a small circle. You don't have to create anything beautiful. You just put it first. I'm literally just putting the color, nothing else. Clean my brush in between.
Yes.
Get more water. Take the next color, which is red from my case, and do exactly the same thing. It's just like small tips. I know this is like it takes a little bit of time because you have to do all the colors and everything. This is more kind of a workshop class where you can teach, but I'm just giving you some hints how to do it. And then the same thing, you do reds, and then you do inside the cloud and outside, and then leave some gap in between the two colors. And then what you do in that gap, you clean your brush. I clean my hands as usual. I clean
me too.
And then you take the brush with clean water, and then you go and put kind of a little bit of water between the two colors. So let that blending happen naturally. So it's more natural look. It's better because if you try to do it perfectly with the brush, then that's where you put a lot of pressure. It's like, oh, I'm not happy. Let the color sit properly between them. And then if you're happy with it, stop that. If you're not happy, add more water. Watercolor loves water. And then
Okay,
just put it,
I'll translate this a little bit. Avete visto come ha fatto le
and then
linee?
move it around just with water. I'm just moving the color and not doing anything.
Lui sta usando un pennellino a serbatoio con cui ha prelevato un po' di colore dalle matite e l'ha aggiunto sopra le nuvole, poi ha lasciato lo spazio tra un colore e l'altro e quello spazio lì l'ha riempito con una gocciolina d'acqua e lui dice fate in modo che i colori si mescolino in modo naturale e guardate la bellezza. That's so beautiful.
And then you do like this. And then what you can do, if you want to give it more, I don't know if you can see here. Let me bring it back on the side. Can you see this kind of water splatters around?
Yes.
Literally, you can either do some water in your hand. Can you see? I'm doing just some water here in my fingers. Yeah. And then you just go and then just do it gradually. Or straight away with a brush. I'm just applying some water.
Just drop little water.
I'm not touching it. I'm not doing anything. I will let the color take any direction I want to take and then let it dry naturally. This is another tip. I do not use the heat tool. The heat tool will move my color around maybe wherever I want it, but also it takes a lot of the water away, and watercolor loves water. So I keep it to dry naturally, and then I have all these effects. For example, here, quickly bring my samples. Here I kept the color only inside the cloud and then straight line. Nothing else. And here is color inside and outside with more water around.
Ok, guardate la differenza.
The lines here, the space between the lines is wider, and here is really close to each other.
E lì invece sono in quello sotto ha messo il colore dentro le nuvole, in quello sopra e dentro, con una distanza tra le righe diversa. Guardate che effetto diverso. It looks a brand new, they look different techniques, but they're basically just the same. Use
the same technique. And then at the end where the line stops, I did the same thing. Take the color from the tip of my pencil and just do kind of lines like this. And I did exactly the same thing here. It's like I always say, obviously it requires some practice, but it's not like something magical. It's like anything. When first time you buy stamp set and ink pad, probably you will not stamp like a perfect print straight away. You have to try once to it. Once you get used to the acrylic block, to the ink, you will get it right. It's exactly the same thing with pencils.
Ok, dice provate, perché anche la prima volta che avete timbrato sicuramente magari non vi è venuto benissimo, avete dovuto riprovare più volte. È solo una questione di pratica. Ok.
Okay, so let's get some stamps and let's play a little bit just to show you how beautiful it is. So what stamps I have here. That's my problem, is I'm messy crafter. Like I cannot craft and tidy. It's one of the two. Either I tidy or I craft. I cannot do both.
Me neither. I'm usually a messy crafter and I leave the table messy just until I need to use it again.
Yeah, and then you can't find anything.
That's very familiar to me. I believe my table hides things from me, actually.
Yeah, they're always jealous because they want to play, and then
yes, I believe I have some scrapbooking elves playing around in the store and taking things from my desk because you cannot explain it differently. What do we see on the table?
I just saw this one. I was looking at my stamps and I found this one. This is ephemera. This is ephemera 30. This is ephemera 37. So this is ready. It comes like this, colored, cut, ready to use. All what you need, glue. And I looked at it like this. I said, like, oh, actually, let me show you this one quickly. I know it's not part of the. Clearly, yeah.
We love ephemeras. We love ephemeras. Just go ahead.
So, for example, this one is so easy. For example, you can add this one to any project you want. Look how cute it looks.
Yes. It gives a lot more.
It works very well with compositions we have also. Or if you don't want to put it there, you can add it to the clouds here. So you have also some ephemera here on the side to your project behind the skin, or you can put it here on the ground. This is just also, we have a lot of ephemera, so many elements, try to mix and match.
Yes. Oh, you have very large envelopes of ephemeras, and we love them. And there's no border around that, so it makes them really blending into the background that you're gluing them to. So
you can tell I'm a crafter. I'm also struggling with a white border. That's why I don't do it for my ephemera.
Well, your ephemeras work really well without the border. I believe some of the ephemeras really do work well with the border. It depends on the style that you're playing with. Yours are absolutely amazing with no border.
Thank you. Let's do some stamping. Let's do some stamping and show you how easy it is. For example, I grabbed those two here. One of the first things I want to show you, when you buy an Orange Create stamps, I don't know if you noticed the new packaging, we try to give you more inspiration. So what you have here, on the front, you have a composition. So you see the images that you get. It tells you how many stamps you get. For example, here's 18 in total, here 21. And then you have an example how to create this composition to the front. But if you look at the back, all the elements are separate. So here you have all the different elements. So you can see all this 18 stamp set. You can either follow the example on the packaging, or you can be creative and create any compositions you want, or you can use just the cloud with anything you have, or just the giraffe, or whatever element you want. And exactly the same thing with flamingo. You have 21 stamps. This is the compositions where they're all kind of together with the music, but you have them all separate. So you can, even the sign here, that doesn't have text, you have the text separate, so you can pick the text you want, or you can write the text you want with your handwriting, with anything you want. And of course, you always have the QR code for all the stamp set to join the group and see the inspiration.
And all of the details, all of the elements in the stamps can be mixed and matched as you showed us. So it's a little collection.
And this is also an example for you how you can color, like an example, like how to can
coloring guide.
Yeah.
I will just translate this. Non so se avete notato, negli ultimi timbri che hanno fatto uscire ci sono tutta una serie di ispirazioni. Lui mi dice sul davanti hanno creato una combinazione, hanno assemblato tutte le immagini. Questo per esempio ha 18 timbri, l'altro ne ha 21. Sul retro trovate, a parte il QR code, tutti i timbri separati. Possono essere un'indicazione anche di come colorarli, e in realtà poi ogni pezzetto, ogni elemento che è all'interno di quel timbro può essere usato per comporre poi, come avete visto, tutti i lavori che ci ho fatto vedere prima. È una collezione che cresce. Okay,
so let me use this one because I love the giraffe. Recently, I'm so like the giraffe is becoming one of my favorite animals. The lion's still my favorite though.
Okay.
Well, I'm a Leo, so I'm a bit biased. Okay, so I'm using the giraffe here. So I'm gonna do like a composition. I'm gonna do something slightly different than the one on the packaging to show you like you can just be creative. So I'm stamping my focal point first. You have the giraffe. I'm using the Orange Create acrylic blocks, my best friend for stamping. I don't know if you know, I don't know if you saw our acrylic block, and the reason why they are different than anything that you find in the market, the Orange Create. I'm a crafter, and I must admit, like if you have an acrylic block, small or size, if it's small stamp set, all of them do the job. No one can lie to you. It can be this small, large, they all do the job. But the minute you move to a larger scale, the minute you have stamps with so much details, the very thick ones, it can be challenging sometimes. And it's easy, like it's very easy, this logic thing, because it's thick. So the pressure will not go through. Well, this one, you can apply the pressure, you can blend them. Can you see? You can bend them, you can flex them, you can apply the texture wherever you want it without having to press too hard, or without having to wonder what to put. For example, here, okay, my ink maybe is dry, so let me add another layer. One of the first tip I say is a good layer of ink. Of course, you have to ink it because sometimes you don't put enough ink and they say like, oh, it doesn't stamp well. So you need to make sure you cover all the details when it comes to that. Second thing is I just put it here and I'm not pressing. I just put my hand in the middle to make sure my block doesn't move. And then I lift the corners. So I just lift the corners. And by lifting the corners, I'm sending the pressure to my image. And then you can roll it up and then you have straight away a perfect print. So this is so easy for beginners, for example, or even for advanced. If you have a stamp very, very rich in details, this acrylic block can create difference for you.
It's a very different technique for stamping because we're usually taught to stamp differently. I will just explain this for those who did not see the demo that you made in Frankfurt because it's enlightening. Lui dice i blocchi di acrilico a cui siamo abituati, agli stamping tool, sono rigidi, sono spessi, quindi in realtà se avete un timbro molto pieno di dettagli diventa più difficile. Bisogna avere un blocco che sia quanto più vicino possibile alla dimensione del timbro. Con i loro invece sono più sottili, ci si abitua in realtà, guardate come sta componendo, ci si abitua in realtà a timbrare con una superficie più grande perché il loro blocco acrilico è flessibile, quindi lui in realtà posiziona il timbro, mette la mano al centro e alzando prima un lato poi l'altro, e questa però è una lezione di fisica, manda la pressione al centro, quindi il trasferimento dell'inchiostro è perfetto. Non pulisce i timbri, lo amiamo.
And
look at how
what I'm
it
doing is you will see like there will be zero masking. It's just stamp,
zero
stamp, stamp,
masking.
stamp, stamp, stamp. And for example, and it's clear stamp, so you can see through, so you can easily decide where you want it, left, right. Even if, for example, you don't want it that close, you can just put it here, small distance, like so. And I kept this in purpose here, so I can later on and you can just bring any fine pen, and then you can just do that continuity that you need there. If, for example, you want it there, so it's so easy to create. Or you can stamp it straight away attached to the giraffe, like I did this one, and you don't have to add these bits. But you know that if, for example, you missed it, you want it next to it, and you missed it, there's no problem. Just grab your black fine pen, and then you do it.
Ok, avete visto come ha fatto, che l'ha lasciato un pochino più lontano, dice magari avete sbagliato, io l'ho lasciato un pochino più lontano di proposito, semplicemente con una punta, io adesso lo chiamo tratto per non mi viene un'altra cosa, però avete capito, si può semplicemente correggere. Ok.
So I'm adding some couple of clouds around, so you can do them all around. You see where you want them to be. So probably adding
Nessuna mascheratura, avete visto?
While I have this one, I'm gonna make the most of it and stamp it twice. I love this large cloud.
They are beautiful. I'm just telling them again that there is no masking needed.
Absolutely zero masking. And also because I designed this, my drawings, they are my designs. When I draw them and then when I convert them digitally before we send the file to the manufacturer in like Photoshop or whatever, I try them digitally. Like I tried all the compositions, I tried the sizes, that the perspective is correct, that every element can fit next to the other one without zero masking. So we do all the different options. And then when we say, okay, it works from every single corner, every single angle, now we can send it to the manufacturer.
That's a long work. I will tell them because it shows how much work there is behind a single.
We are crafters. We're interested in bringing the latest, the hottest, and the most creative things to the crafters. But in the same time, we're crafters, so we think like a crafter first before we think about as a business. As a crafter, what can I do with it? How can I use it more and more? How can I use it differently? How can I mix it with other things? What can I do with it? Because if it doesn't matter how much budget you have, big or small, it doesn't matter. We need to make sure no matter what you buy from Holland Create, you're going to make the most of it.
Most of it. Okay, I will translate this little part. Giusto per farvi capire quanto lavoro c'è dietro a un set di timbri, questi sono suoi disegni in particolar modo. Prima di mandarli in produzione, loro digitalmente provano tutte le varie possibili combinazioni di layout, provano le dimensioni, provano la prospettiva. Solo dopo che sono tutti utilizzabili al loro massimo, in modo che possiate sfruttare il set nel suo massimo, solo loro li mandano in produzione, perché loro sono creativi e quindi in realtà pensano da creativi, che non è una cosa che si deve dare per scontato, perché alcune cose con cui giochiamo spesso e volentieri, non spesso e volentieri, ma a volte mi capita di pensare che forse sono state progettate da qualcuno che non le usa in realtà. È come quando nelle grandi aziende si fanno le procedure di qualità, persone che quel lavoro lì, per cui stanno proceduralizzando tutto, non lo conoscono neanche un po'. Loro conoscono molto bene il mondo del craft, lui crafta da tantissimo tempo e quindi ovviamente c'è un lavoro di pensiero e di ragionamento molto molto grande. Ok.
So now what I'm doing is in this stamp set you have so many little houses, and if you can see them,
yes,
little houses. They can be stamped on their own. They can sit perfectly on the top of the trees. Yes. They sit perfectly on the clouds, and they sit also perfectly on the back of the giraffe. But also they can be on their own as a grounding, to have kind of something in the background and something on the foreground. And that's what I'm going to do. For example, I'm going to start with some here.
Sta timbrando le casette minuscole che vanno bene sia sulla giraffa, sulle nuvolette, sugli alberi, ma anche per terra.
Probably this one that I just stamped, it looks random for you. It looks like, okay, it's the middle of nowhere, couple of houses is stamping. But once you add the grounding and once you add all the elements, you will see that perspective and how it looks really good. I'm going to do it both sides.
Lovely.
There you go. And then add a couple more. Just to play. As I said, there's no masking, there's nothing. It's just stamp, 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 stamp. Once you're happy, you stop there.
Una volta che avete timbrato tutto quello che vi piace, avete finito.
Yeah, and I have my pen here. This is a pen. You can take a pencil, you can take anything, and literally just extend that just to ground them. So to get the kind of that line of the ground.
Oh, they're beautiful.
And then you add that perspective, and then everything looks, and then you extend this one. So we already know what's the foreground and what's the background here, and then you can add more to it. And then of course when we add the colors, it sits beautifully. So this is stamped directly on the ground, and then I'm gonna do just a couple more on the how it's called, on the clouds.
Yes.
Actually,
How long does it just a question out of curiosity, how long does it take you to design and prepare a whole release? You usually release a good bunch of products. How long does it take you to plan all of those?
I would say a couple of months, if you add all the time together. But because if you add them like all together, we don't have break, we don't go home. We don't. If you add them, it's a couple of months. But I would say, well, I'm different when I work. It's the same way as a craft. I'm working on 5-6 collections at the same time. So I start a bit here, I start a bit of there. And then if it's not inspiring me, if I feel like stuck, I move to something else and then I come back to it. So usually beginning of the year, I know, okay, this year I have 6 collections for this year. I have animals, I have, let's say, the houses, I have just an example. But I have no idea which one will be first, because it all depends what inspires me the most and what I managed to finish first. So it's roughly 2 months to do a collection. Roughly 2 months, but the 2 months can be across 10 months because I do bit here, bit there until I finish it.
Ok, I will just translate this. Gli ho chiesto indicativamente, visto tutto il lavoro che c'è dietro, e loro fanno uscire collezioni veramente molto corpose, quanto ci mette a completare una collezione. Lui dice: se metto insieme tutto il tempo, 2 mesi, ma questi 2 mesi possono essere distribuiti all'interno di tutto un anno, perché magari lavoro a 5-6 collezioni alla volta e a un certo punto magari non mi va più di lavorare sulle casette, inizio a lavorare su qualcos'altro, mi ispira di più una cosa, mi ispira di più l'altra. Con 2 padelle lui disegna 5 collezioni alle volte. Non sappiamo ancora cosa faremo nel corso di settembre, adesso poi lo definiamo. One question that I'm reading in the comments: do you think a coloring class or webinar or something would be makeable? I mean, do you think a class could be enough for people to start coloring your stamps?
Absolutely. Like I do a lot of coloring classes. Like I do like when I do teach, I always have like a section where I do all the stamping, the compositions and everything. And the second part is all the coloring, where I show in details the basics of the tool on its own. Like if it's a pencil, or if you're using the paint, the watercolor paint, for example, or if it's a marker, the difference between them, how to use them, because you need to know how to blend in the basics. And then we do the practice on the project, and then of course we go and take it from there to the next level and higher. So I do all the time that. To do it online, I must admit a good luck finding for me time to do it, because I struggle with anything online.
They were asking me about the possibility to have a class maybe in September.
Yeah, I am also the kind of person that when it comes to teaching, I give 100%, but I am face-to-face person more than behind the screen person. I love that interaction.
Kind of teaching, I suppose your kind of teaching really requires being face-to-face, you
know. I wanna see what they're doing, and I wanna guide them, because everyone has a different way of thinking, of working, of using the tools. So being there and seeing what they're doing and do it together, for me, it's the best way of doing it than just behind the screen.
I totally agree. That's the kind of class we could probably not take online, but we might discuss for a class in person. I will translate this now. Dice che si può sicuramente iniziare. Lui di solito iniziare con un corso. Lui di solito fa nella parte dei corsi una parte dedicata alla parte timbrata, una parte dedicata a come si usano i colori a seconda di quello che si usa, pennarelli, acquerelli o che altro. E lui dice che è possibile non online, perché lui dice che è il tipo di insegnante che ha bisogno di vedere cosa fanno le persone, che ha bisogno di essere faccia a faccia. A settembre verrà a fare un corso per noi, non abbiamo ancora definito le date, neanche i progetti, però gli stiamo chiedendo, insomma. Ok, thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. And as you can see, what I'm doing here, I'm just stamping. I'm stamping the houses on the top. I did here a couple of houses on the top of the giraffe,
Yes.
between the tree, and I did here on the top of the clouds, on the ground. So you just keep playing. And if you look at all my compositions, if you look closely at them, now that you've seen me how it worked, you will see easily like, oh, actually it's nothing magical. Like he was just showing off. He was just showing off before, because now we can do it too. And
But
it did.
we do get the magic of the simplicity. So the simple.
I'm
Well,
just trying
we
to
get it.
find that other example that I showed you before. For example, this one I have here, there's with flamingos with the colors. If you look at it, that's probably the easiest, and it didn't take me that long at all to stamp it. You have one flamingo here, second flamingo here, third flamingo. I stamped love story inside. I added
Uh-huh.
some sign, and I added kind of a little bit of a grounding, and that's it. Literally
That's
5
it.
steps, and then the rest is take my time and do the coloring.
And do the coloring. I'll translate this. Lui dice,
Yeah.
adesso che vi ho fatto questa composizione viene smascherata la magia, che in realtà è una cosa super semplice. Ho solo timbrato, anche quei flamingo che ci ha fatto vedere, sta usando Silver Sapphire, anche quei flamingo che ci ha fatto vedere sono 1, 2, 3, 5 pezzi e via. That's also beautiful.
Again, this is literally 5 stems. The 3 flamingos, the titles, and the musical notes, and the grass around. That's it. And then what I did is color, and when it arrives to the sun, I didn't know the sun at the beginning. I did all the color in the background, and I was thinking like, oh, it's still empty. There's something missing. And then I took literally my pencil. I draw half circle here. And
Uh-huh.
then I did it like thick line, and then I played with the water. It's very easy technique. I do it like most of the time in my class and everything. You play with the water, kind of move the color, and then add the lines here. And that's your sun. It's not stamped. If I make closer, you can see even the lines of the brush.
Of the water, yes, but that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's literally just like this, and this is how I do it. It's the same like when sometimes I do something like this one, like all the sun. It's exactly the same. When I have an empty background, it's like, oh, it's too much white, it's not finished, something. I do just draw a circle. I don't even use proper tools. I just use a plate from my kitchen. I just do half circle with a plate. Honestly, that's how I use. I literally grab anything I found next to me. And then I just do the color around it. This easy. You have to be creative.
A plate. Okay, I'm gonna tell them. Avete visto quello meraviglioso che l'ha fatto con un piatto?
Look at that. Same thing.
I love the plate
With a
thing.
glossy accent. It's literally a plate in my kitchen. Just put it here and
I love it. I totally love it. That's what
sorry.
creativity is. You know, it's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
So and then you kept going on and on with your compositions. If you look at this one here, it's exactly the same technique how I did it. This one I just explained you how to do it. It's
Yes.
nothing nothing like difficult about it. This one here, what do you have here? We have the dog and the bird. You stamp the dog. You have the bird on the top of it. It sits perfectly. We measured that. You have another dog here. Those two are I don't know if you have this probably this is October collection last year. Is the Mushroom Town.
Yes.
It's like with all the houses and everything. I don't you have to check the website. So this is
I
anyway,
still have those.
yeah, I stamped half of the mushroom here, and then this is the houses, and all the rest is the colors. We give you all the stamps to create endless possibilities of compositions and telling story each time. This is exactly the same. This is one stamp set. It has all of those. So literally stamped one stamp set here, the dog, and then just add some clouds if you want, or sign, whatever you want to finish it off, and all the rest is coloring. So the coloring also play a good role here. The dog, and this is a seed. This is another stamp set. This one comes from a stamp set called Aubergine Lodge. So here you have a big aubergine with windows and doors, and this is the composition that goes with it. It's also A6, and you have the dog there. And then this is how I finish all my pieces.
You always work on the background color later. Because
yeah, I do the color later around my compositions. And the reason I do that because I never know where I'm going with my composition because I always go with the flow. So
the big risk is that you kind of ruin something, that something smears over the characters. That would probably be very me to ruin the
no, I don't think it's risk because, well, first of all, if you say the big risk, you already put a lot of rules here, and crafting is nothing about rules. It's all about having fun. There's no risk here because if you do that, it means just you overhead like fun. You exit. What you do in this case, you go, let's say the giraffe, you went on the top of it. You stamp it in another piece of paper, you color it, and then you cut it, and then you just go and stick it on the top.
Oh, you know what? That's something I would probably do myself. We have a saying that in Italian that means that you're correcting a mistake that you made, so that nobody sees that you made a mistake. That you're doing
Absolutely,
like
no
that.
one will know.
And we love you for that. I will translate that. Lui dice, perché gli ho detto, gli sfondi sono fatti tutti dopo. Se io facessi una roba del genere dopo, 99 su 100 rovino il disegno, perché sono una smanona. E lui dice, se lo rovini, in realtà vuol dire che ti sei divertito tanto, innanzitutto, e quindi va bene. Ma nel caso lo ritimbri, lo ricolori, ce la appiccichi sopra, attacconato, io lo adoro. We totally love this.
I'm sorry for telling you off. I didn't mean it.
No, I totally love it. I'm the kind of crafter that really doesn't stick to rules, and I do make lots of mistakes. That's overriding the fun, but I do always tend to correct things. There's very
They are
little
not,
things that
clearly,
cannot be adjusted.
they are not mistakes. They are happy accidents.
Happy accidents, I will call them like that from now on. Incidenti felici.
Okay, so for the stamping, yeah, like as I said, you can grab any stamp set. You always have different possibilities, and then you create your compositions. Should I show them the washi tapes now?
Yes, let's show them the washi
If
tapes.
there
I
any
washi tape stanno
question or anything,
rientrando.
I can.
Okay, I told them that the washi tapes are going to be restocked pretty soon, so I will be getting the ones that I missed, the ones that were out of stock of pretty soon.
Okay, so washi tapes. Let's talk washi tapes. I'm a
Let's
crafter for nearly 15 years, and as all crafters, I buy non-stop. So it might everything's non-stop. So I have drawers of washi tapes, like all kind of patterns and chevrons and stars and hearts and pink, green, yellow, all the spectrum,
all of them.
all of them. And then I arrived to a point where I have like drawers and boxes of washi tapes, but I never use them. And I use just like 5 centimeters, 1 millimeter sometimes, and that's it. I just bought it because I love the pattern or something. So that's one thing. And I noticed like I used to use them a lot in the past, but not anymore now probably because okay, it's always the same patterns or the same thing. So I wasn't sure about. But I love the washi tapes and I missed it. I said, okay, how can I bring it back, but without overwhelming the customers with the same washi tapes? Nothing special. It's just not All and Create. All and Create has to be something different and special. So we came up with that concept of layer it up. And before talking about the layer it up, we will talk about the washi tape itself. So all our washi tapes in the market, what do you find? You find the washi tapes where you have 2 or 3 centimeters, probably 4 or 5 centimeters of patterns that repeats all over your roll. It can be chevron, star, text, which is nice if you want to use it. But sometimes you get bored. Like how many of that centimeters you need in your life? Not much. So that's why all our washi tapes, you have at least 40 centimeters of unique patterns before it starts repeating.
Ok, I will translate this little part in the beginning. Lui dice che scrappando, comunque essendo nel settore del craft da tanti anni, ha cassetti di washi tapes, perché come tutti noi non smette mai di comprare. E alla fine tende a non usarli. Un po' perché i washi tape alla fine hanno quei 3-4 centimetri di pattern che poi si ripete, e questi sono sempre stati i washi tape che abbiamo conosciuto e hanno i loro usi, ma lui voleva trovare qualcosa di diverso. E hanno fatto questi washi tape che adesso ce lo dirà, sono in carta, non sono sono un materiale un po' diverso rispetto a quello che si trova nel mercato. Ci farà vedere anche, immagino, che lo strapperà e farà il rumore proprio di carta. E se ne è venuto fuori con l'idea geniale della layerability, quindi sono stratificabili, perché se voi affiancate le varie strisce si crea un pattern. Ok.
Okay, so that's one. So you have 40 centimeters before start repeating. The second thing, all our washi tapes are 10 meters, where in the average in the market is 5 meters. I know only one company who does 10 meters as well. All the rest do 5 meters. And then the third thing, we have new suppliers for the last 3 years now. If you notice, all our washi tapes, because we're crafters, we love paper, they are more papery, less plasticky. So they're not that shiny. They don't have that much gloss. They have only the little bit shininess, which is from the print, obviously, because the ink sitting. But listen that this is more paper. And listen to this one. Can you hear? I put it next to the mic.
Yes. That's
This is
paper
paper. This
sharing.
is not plastic or glass. So it's easy to add textures on the top. It's easy to stamp on. It's easy to add anything. Of course, use a stain and make sure you dry the ink, but the ink will not move and you have a perfect print. So it's paper. So you can use it. You can remove it because it has low tack tape as well.
Mhm.
So which is really good compared to a normal washi tape, which is more plastic and a little bit more glossy, and you don't have much you can do with.
Ok, sono tutti 10 metri, e che è tanto, e sono carta. Se ci dovete timbrare usate lo stasone e fatelo asciugare bene.
Yeah.
Ok?
And then the last thing is what we did is the last thing is the layer it up concept. Layer it up concept, which is not only you can use the washi tape in the traditional way. You just cut a small piece, use it to frame your work, you add it to ground, you decorate your piece with, like all the traditional way of using washi tapes. But also, if you put them together, you can create a whole cut. It's like I said before with the ribbons. Ribbons is something like you do in 2 seconds, you rub it and you have the whole thing done. The same thing with the washi tapes. If you're not good at creating background, coloring your focal point, adding all the stamping, the textures, with this washi tape, you just have to cut small pieces. And what I'm going to say, no matter where you cut, I'm
It's
not
gonna go
measuring,
here.
I'm just pieces. Look, I'm just going to cut small pieces. Any piece you cut, there is always another piece to complement that scene, either from the top, from the bottom, from the left, from the right. This is just in front of you 4 pieces that I just cut. If I take anyone randomly, this one, I will see there's always a piece that complement this one. If I look at this one, what do I have here? Let me just put it here on the top of those. What do I have here? I have 2 birds and a little bit of cage. Let me take this one. There is birds, the body of the birds, and the cage, which means those 2 work together. And this one, for example, if I come here, it works perfectly. We did all the measurement, the lining, and all of that. So you don't have to have any gaps or anything finished. You get another piece here. It continue this one. You take the next one. It will come to sit here. You
Look
take the
at
other
that.
one. It will continue it. And then you can carry on and on and on and on. There's always, and you see they're not perfect. They're all tiered, like hand
That's the
tiered.
beauty of it.
And there is always a piece that complements. So otherwise, because a lot of customer tells me like, oh, but where to cut? How long? How's the piece? Like, doesn't matter.
No matter.
Whatever you take, there's always another piece that continue because you're gonna take the next piece next to it, and which is the continuity. So there's always a piece that you can never get it wrong, basically.
You can never get it wrong is something I
So
really
I'm gonna do the
love.
second compositions while you
Yes.
translate for them this.
Yes, ok. Qualsiasi pezzo, se voi ne tagliate un pezzo piccolo di qualsiasi dimensione e ve ne tagliate un 2 o 3 pezzi, troverete sempre il pezzo su cui allineare la striscetta che avete tagliato. Sono pattern continui praticamente, e vedete anche il modo in cui si allineano e rendono imperfetti i bordi, è bellissimo secondo me. Li ho presi, sono finiti, ma sono proprio finiti. Sto aspettando che ritornino, ne ho trovato uno che tornerà adesso domani con le fustelle. Ci sono ancora dei wash in negozio. Guardate il link che vi ho messo su Telegram e sui social, ci sono tutti i prodotti. Se scorrete trovate anche i washi. Il disegno si compone con un massimo di... Oh, I have an interesting question. How many strips do you need to complete the pattern? Are 4 strips enough? Do you need 5?
If you do it around, what is that, 6-8 centimeters, I would say a little bit more maybe, you need 4. If you want small ones and then you do continuity, you do around 6 to 8. It depends on the length of your, so basically when you, if for example, let's do it here, you start cutting pieces like this.
Okay.
Obviously it takes you long more pieces
Of
because you
course.
have to have another one. So usually if you want to do what I just did for you is around 4 pieces of 8-10 centimeters max. If you do a small, it's like how it's called, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. It's like puzzles.
Okay.
It
But
depends
the
the
whole
size of the
design,
puzzle.
if I had to run all of the strips for 40 centimeters,
Yeah,
do I
40
need-
centimeters.
do
So
I-
10 centimeters around for each stripe. If you want to do it perfect, 10.
Yes. Oh, ok. Dipende dalla lunghezza. Nel senso che se avete pezzi più i pezzi sono piccoli, più ci servono strati affinché ci si componga un disegno. La striscia più grande è di 40 centimetri, quindi secondo me con 4 strisce lo componete tutto. Ok? Lo proviamo.
And then you just
Oh,
add
look at those flowers.
more.
Those are beautiful.
And then add more. And then just an example, you can see the cage with the birds, the flowers here, and then maybe I can do one more quickly, just last one, which is this one, cactus. So I'm just gonna cut this one. Cut
This is
another
the
piece.
one that I found. Okay.
It's like puzzles. Do you know when you have like the big puzzle and you try to make it? It's just that this one is easier and it gives you less headache. This one.
Of course, and it takes less space.
Less space,
No
absolutely.
glue.
No glue, nothing. And then you just do like this, and then add maybe one more here, and that's cactus. This is more Mediterranean, cactus with birds.
Beautiful.
This is more Italian. Oh no, this is the back of my other project. And then you have this one here, and that's how you do easily. And of course, as I said, you can use your washi tapes in the traditional way. You don't have to do always the layer it up. You can just take any stripe and then use it in a normal.
Option. Of course.
This gave you that versatility.
E lui dice potete usarli come washi tape normali, ovviamente, che danno quel tocco in più, che incorniciano magari il lavoro, e poi possono essere usati così astratti. Ovviamente una volta che li vediamo usati astratti così, almeno io voglio usarli solo così. That's so beautiful. We're really looking forward for them to be restocked so we can stock them up.
You will definitely. And then what you can do is, as I said, like you just what I can do here is I take my die, for example. Let me just take any of the dies and then just cut the piece. For example, here I can cut this one, or I use another die. I just cut the piece of paper. I cut it, and then either you cut it like this, you keep the white here and then do color or something else. Or when you start cutting the piece of the washi tapes, and make sure you cut around the size of the tag that you want to use, or the square or rectangular. So you do that. Or if you don't want to do that, and you don't want, life is too short to keep thinking and overthinking in advance and ahead, because you never know what you're doing next, you just take your beautiful rub-ons. And then with the rub-ons, that's always what I do, is I fill the gap and I extend that design. You can take, for example, here I have, let's see here, I have a kind of green, little bit of beige and pinks. So probably this one will work very well. But if, for example, here I have more a little bit of darker color and I want a little bit of contrast with the brown, everything, I'm sure I have, like we covered all the colors. This one have more of those green and the blue. So you use this one. So we have all the washi tapes, all the different ones. This is also really good, that kind of continuity and the extended designs. And I'm going to do that while you translate this to them.
Ok, allora lui ci dice che con le fustelle possiamo poi ricavare ovviamente il fustellato, possiamo lasciare un pezzo di bianco, possiamo usare delle strisce più lunghe di modo poi da fustellare un pattern intero fatto di washi, oppure possiamo prendere i nostri meravigliosi rabon, scegliere il colore che meglio si sposa con il nostro disegno e blendarli insieme. Io voglio che ci approvino la parola blendare, perché niente meglio di questo può spiegare il tutto. Guardate che meraviglia che sta facendo.
And as you can see, you can also do the washi tapes on the top, the rubbers on the top of the washi tapes. Like I just did here, this pink circle here. I'm going to make close up on the camera so you can see that.
Yes, that's beautiful.
So I'm just doing this section here. And then checking if I have all the patterns, if I'm happy with that, and then just stop there. You see I already extended, I already had that nice continuity. So when I bring my die later, I already filled most of the space.
It's beautiful.
Most of the space. Even this one, when I cut it later, of course, we don't waste anything. We have plenty of die. In each die set, we have plenty of other elements to create some tags, some tabs, some bunting.
You added the elements so that we're not going to waste any of those.
Nothing. Right? You create your own tags and your own labels with this beautiful pattern on all the pieces that you call them negative. I call them work in progress.
Work in progress. Okay, I'll translate that because it's really funny. Because I have customers who will not let me throw away anything out what's on my desk, and sometimes I admit I do throw away. Some small pieces need to go to the small pieces of paper heaven. I call it like that. But they are very mad at me when I do that. So this idea of yours will probably make them enthusiastic again. So tutti i piccoli add-on delle fustelline sono stati fatti per non sprecare quei pezzettini di disegno che rimarrebbero fuori. Chi ha la germanite mi ha fatto troppo ridere. That's so beautiful.
And then I'm just playing here with my ribbons to extend. So you see the ribbons can be as your starting point for a background, but also it can be finishing touch. It can
Yes.
be an add-on. It can be part of the process in the middle. So it's very versatile. It can be used all the time and in any step.
You know what? The final touches are probably even more enchanting than the
Yeah.
robot itself, because you would not expect it to be so wonderfully looking once you're just, adding some little details, and it's just amazingly good.
And what I like about it is you can layer on the top. So if, for example, you
Mm,
think, oh, I need to add more, or maybe this is not working, or maybe this is more, you just add on the top of it, come back, add more and more till you're happy. It's all about playing, having fun, and then until you're happy with what you get. So I'm filling all the gaps, extending the designs. And now if you see, I'm literally grabbing just the pieces that are left. I'm
the
not going to the
dots.
main large one.
Yes.
I'm just going to the small one. So you don't use anything. Like you literally recycle anything. You use everything sooner or later, which is the beauty of these ribbons.
Ok, sta prendendo proprio i pezzettini più piccoli, gli avanzi, non si butta via niente. Adesso ci facciamo una maglietta quando viene qua. Non si butta via niente, e quei piccoli pezzettini che sono avanzati, da che non avete trasferito completamente con la prima passata di questi rabon, possono essere il dettaglio finale che completa un altro progetto. È bellissima questa cosa. Lui dice: andate avanti fino a che non siete contenti del risultato, punto. Having fun. Ok.
Having fun. So I'm just doing this. And this one, for example, the second one, I extended a little bit wider, way
Guarda.
more bigger than our dies. Because now I'm thinking about it like, I'm not going to cut with the dies. I'm just going to cut it with my trimmer here and I have it as rectangle cards.
Oh, that's
And then
beautiful.
add
Because
more
you
my
don't want to cut out
sentiments.
any of the details, right?
Now I'm loving everything. I'm loving everything. And this is how you keep playing till you're happy with what you create. I think I pretty much show you most of the things. So let me
Yes.
know if you have any questions or if you want me to do anything.
Oh, I'm really happy about what you showed us. Just let me ask if they have any further question or anything that we can go back to.
Yeah, sure.
Vedere un po' tutto. Abbiamo qualche domanda? Avete qualche domanda da fargli? A parte lo stupore che ci disarticola la mascella, che è sempre stupendo, vogliamo chiedergli ancora qualcosa? Intanto lo ringraziamo per essere stato con noi, per averci dedicato così tanto tempo. Insomma, è sempre assolutamente un piacere, tra l'altro, avere qualcuno qui che si diverte facendo il proprio lavoro. I asked them if they had any questions. In the meantime, I wanted to thank you for being with us and spending so much time with us and showing us all of the
It's
fun.
my pleasure. A shame I cannot face because I want to see you. A shame I cannot face my the camera and flip it.
You cannot flip it. You can enter with another device, and I can mute you on this.
Let's see if I can do that with my iPad.
If you enter with another device, I will just remove this video screen from you.
Okay, let me see if I can
Let me-
do it from my iPad.
Yes.
Will we get there? Where is it?
Ok. Adesso prova a connettersi per salutarci di faccia. Usa una carta acquerello liscia. Claire Fontaine.
Paint on.
Paint on. Vediamo se riusciamo. Are you entering with the other device? Proviamo.
Yep, I'm just putting my name now.
Okay. There you go.
There I am.
It worked.
It did work. It did.
Thank you so much. I know I have this very same thing around here as well.
Brilliant. I really hope everyone enjoyed this little demo session today.
I really enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you so much. They are just in awestruck. Everything has been jaw-dropping. They really loved seeing you playing around. And I believe what they loved the most was seeing that you have fun with the things that you play with. And that's the most important thing for me. And
that's all I want them to do, is to have fun. Please drop all the rules, all the pressures.
Drop all the rules.
At the end of the day, it's a piece of paper. If it doesn't work, turn it and start the other side.
Of course. Just, cover that with just and start it all over again. No worries. No worries. So they are all enthusiastic. They really love the time that you spent with us. They can't wait to see you in a class here. We'll discuss it later. I've told them that's
I can't wait. I really cannot wait to come and meet all of you.
That's going to be really fun. And we're definitely going to play with all of your new products. And is there going to be a new release soon? Just for the spoiler of it?
Not very soon, but
Not
in a
very
month's time.
Okay, we're working on that. That's fine. Okay. They're asking. Oh, somebody asked. That was curious. Somebody said you've been crafting for 15 years. Did you start in elementary school? Because you're really young in kindergarten.
Well, I started when I was really young. I was doing all sorts of crafting. I did not know that it's called scrapbooking or card making back then. But well, I look young, but I'm not young. I'm 30.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah,
You're 30, baby.
I started before university. I was still in the elementary, like high school, I would say. And so I started, like, I remember my first scrapbook layout was, I don't know, I was maybe 16, 17 when I've done it. And since then, I never stopped.
Do you still like your first works?
No.
No. I look at the cards that I made when I started scrapbooking, and sometimes I feel like, okay, my friends were thankful for me to give them this gift. They are terrible. I really had precious friends who were happy to receive such horrible thing, and that's probably normal. We move on to some new styles. We grow up with as crafters, and we like different things. But it's so good that you stuck with it, because what you did, what you're giving us.
I did not bin anything. I still have my first scrapbook layout. I still have my first card, album, mini albums. I have all of them.
Oh, did you also make mini albums? I can't really picture you. Really?
Used to be my life, albums. I have books and boxes and boxes of albums.
Oh my God, I've met you just after you probably quit making mini albums, and I've never seen any of those. You need to show them. I am a huge fan of memory keeping, and that's what I do basically. So I'm a psychologist, so I should probably shut up. But it's something really important for me. You should show them. That's so amazing. And I really love the fact that you pour your heart into what you do. It shows. I just wanted you to know it shows. People can feel that. People can sense that. So it's a part of your success, and we really love everything that you do. So
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being with us. So we're going to end.
I'm going to practice my Italian before I come to visit you.
Of course. I'll be translating, but if you want...
mio Dio.
Oh mio Dio will definitely be something that we can say pretty much often during the class.
Thank you so much, Lilia, once again for everything.
Thank you so much to you too. Ci salutiamo.
And for
Salutiamo Abs. Grazie a tutti. Ci vediamo domani. Ciao ciao.
Ciao.